you heard it said that hell is a place under the earth where flames rage and the souls of the damned suffer eternally? But what if I told you we're already here? Earth is not the paradise it appears to be. Instead, it's a well-disguised prison, a realm of suffering created to keep us trapped. This isn't just some wild theory. Today, I'm sharing revelations so controversial that religious institutions have spent centuries trying to suppress them. What I'm about to reveal comes from extensive research into ancient banned texts, secret doctrines, and even hidden messages within the Bible itself. I've spent years studying the Book of Enoch, Gnostic manuscripts, and forbidden religious texts that the early church deliberately removed from Scripture. Through careful analysis of these ancient sources, cross-referencing historical documents, and examining suppressed religious teachings, I've uncovered a truth so profound it challenges everything we've been taught about our world. This isn't just another video about religious history. This is about exposing the greatest deception ever perpetrated on humanity. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Earth itself may be the real hell we've been warned about. How ancient banned texts reveal the true nature of our reality. The hidden forces that have kept this knowledge suppressed for millennia. Most importantly, how this knowledge could be the key to your spiritual liberation. What you're about to learn will fundamentally change how you see the world around you. The truth, as they say, will set you free. But first, it's going to shatter everything you thought you knew. Part 1. The Hidden History of Earth. Here's a detail they don't tell you in Sunday school. According to the Book of Enoch, a text so controversial it was deliberately removed from the Bible, Earth's true history begins with a rebellion that forever changed the fabric of our reality. Let me take you back to a time before time, when the boundaries between the divine and earthly realms were still fluid. But in those days, beings known as the Watchers, celestial angels created to observe humanity from afar, looked down upon the early world with growing fascination. These weren't mere guardian angels. They were powerful entities tasked with maintaining the cosmic order. But something happened that would shatter that order forever. 200 of these Watchers, led by their chief Samyaza, made a fateful decision that would alter Earth's destiny. As they watched the daughters of men, they became consumed by desires they were never meant to feel. The Book of Enoch describes their descent to Mount Hermon, a moment that marked the beginning of humanity's darkest chapter. These angels didn't just break divine law, they shattered the very boundaries between heaven and earth. They took human wives, creating offspring known as the Nephilim, giant beings of tremendous power and appetite. But this was just the beginning of their transgression. The Watchers, in their rebellion, began sharing knowledge that humanity was never meant to possess. Azazel, one of their leaders, taught humans the art of weaponry and warfare. Amazarach revealed the secrets of sorcery. Barachiel shared the mysteries of astrology. With each piece of forbidden knowledge, they didn't elevate humanity, they corrupted it. The Book of Enoch describes how this knowledge spread like a poison through the ancient world, turning what was once a realm of relative peace into a landscape of chaos and violence. The consequences were catastrophic. The Nephilim, these hybrid offspring, became violent giants who, according to ancient texts, consumed all the acquisitions of men. Their hunger was insatiable, their power unchecked. As chaos spread across the earth, the cries of humanity reached the highest heavens. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn. When the Creator finally intervened, Earth itself was forever changed. The Great Flood wasn't just a cleansing, it was a fundamental restructuring of our reality. The Watchers were bound in the valleys of the earth, their physical forms imprisoned, but their influence remaining. Their knowledge, once released, could never be fully contained. The most chilling part, according to these ancient texts, the Watchers weren't just banished to some distant realm. They were bound right here, becoming part of the very fabric of our world. Their punishment became Earth's curse, transforming our planet into a prison realm where their influence continues to ripple through every generation. This is why, if you look closely at the world around us, you'll see echoes of their rebellion everywhere, in our endless cycles of conflict, in humanity's insatiable hunger for forbidden knowledge, in the very structure of our societies. The Watcher's legacy isn't just ancient history, it's the foundation of our reality. Think about it. Every civilization throughout history has carried whispers of this story, tales of fallen angels, of divine knowledge stolen from the heavens, of a world forever changed by cosmic rebellion. These aren't just myths. They're echoes of a truth so profound it had to be hidden. But this is just the beginning of our journey into Earth's true nature, because if our world was transformed into a prison for these rebellious beings, what does that make us? Are we simply sharing their prison, or are we part of a much larger, more sinister design? As we delve deeper into this mystery, you'll discover that the Watcher's rebellion was just the first layer of a much darker truth about our world, a truth that powerful forces have worked for millennia to keep hidden. Because understanding Earth's true history is the first step to recognizing the nature of our own imprisonment. Part 2. Earth as a prison realm. What if I told you that the world around us, this seemingly beautiful creation, is actually an elaborate prison, designed with such intricate deception that most of its inmates don't even realize they're confined? This isn't just speculation, it's a truth that lies hidden within ancient Gnostic texts, carefully preserved despite centuries of suppression. Picture, if you will, the creation story you were never told. According to the Gnostic manuscripts discovered in Nag Hammadi, Egypt in 1945, our world wasn't created by the benevolent God we've been taught to worship. Instead, it was crafted by a being known as the Demiurge, a flawed, lesser deity born from cosmic chaos. This being, whom the Gnostics called Yaldabaoth, emerged into existence alone and, in his isolation, committed the ultimate act of cosmic hubris. He declared himself the one true God. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. The Demiurge, in his profound ignorance, couldn't perceive the true divine realm above him. Imagine a child playing with blocks, believing they've created the entire universe, completely unaware of the vast world beyond their playroom. This was the Demiurge, powerful yet fundamentally flawed, creating not out of love, but out of a desperate need for control and worship. And the Gnostic text on the origin of the world describes how this being, in his twisted wisdom, crafted our physical reality, but unlike the gentle creation described in Genesis, this was an act of cosmic imprisonment. Every aspect of our world, from the limitations of our physical bodies to the very laws of nature, was designed as a sophisticated system of control. Think about it. Hunger that must be satisfied, fatigue that must be addressed, desires that must be fulfilled. Aren't these all chains that keep us bound to physical existence? The evidence of this prison's design is everywhere, hidden in plain sight. Consider the fundamental nature of our reality. We're bound by time, limited by space, restricted by physical laws. Every attempt to transcend these limitations is met with immediate resistance. Is this not the very definition of a prison? The Gnostics believed that our souls, divine sparks of true consciousness, were deliberately trapped within physical bodies, much like placing a bird in a cage made of flesh and bone. But the prison's most ingenious feature isn't its physical constraints, it's the elaborate system of control that keeps us from recognizing our confinement. The Demiurge didn't just create physical barriers, he established entire systems of belief, hierarchies of power, and cycles of suffering that keep us distracted, divided, and spiritually blind. The Gospel of Philip, another Gnostic text, describes this as a state of sleep, a profound spiritual unconsciousness that prevents us from recognizing our true nature. The most chilling aspect? This prison operates on a principle of willing participation. Just as modern prisons are most effective when inmates accept their confinement, Earth's prison system works by making us believe this limited existence is all there is. We've been conditioned to accept suffering as natural, limitations as inevitable, and our spiritual imprisonment as the normal state of being. Yet, within this dark revelation lies a profound hope. The Gnostics believed that understanding the true nature of our reality, achieving what they called gnosis, was the first step toward liberation. They saw this awakening not as a mere intellectual exercise, but as a profound spiritual revolution. Think of it like Neo in the Matrix, suddenly seeing the code behind the illusion. Once you recognize the prison for what it is, its power over you begins to wane. But here's the crucial question that leads us to an even darker truth. If Earth is indeed a prison realm, then who, or what, are the forces maintaining this cosmic penitentiary? What entities benefit from keeping humanity in spiritual chains? To understand this, we need to look at the most controversial aspect of this ancient knowledge, the true identity and nature of our jailers. Part 3. The Architects of Control. What if I told you that our world was designed not by a loving creator, but by a being whose sole purpose was control? Ancient Gnostic texts speak of an entity they called the demiurge, a flawed, arrogant being who crafted our physical reality as an elaborate prison for human souls. Picture this. In the beginning, before time itself, there existed a realm of pure divine light, a place of perfect harmony and boundless potential. But something went terribly wrong. The demiurge, born from cosmic chaos, emerged with an insatiable hunger for power and control. Believing himself to be the supreme God, blind to the existence of the true divine source, he set about creating his own kingdom, our physical universe. The Gnostic text, the secret Book of John, describes this cosmic architect in chilling detail. The demiurge, they say, was ignorant darkness, a being who declared, "I am God and there is no other God beside me." Imagine the sheer arrogance, a lesser being proclaiming itself the ultimate authority, then constructing an entire reality to reinforce this lie. But the demiurge's creation wasn't random. Every aspect of our world was meticulously designed with one purpose: control. Think about the fundamental nature of physical existence: hunger, thirst, the need for shelter, the constant struggle for survival. These aren't accidents or natural laws. They're chains, carefully crafted to keep us bound to material existence. The Gnostics believed the demiurge created a masterful system of control that operates on multiple levels. Consider how our basic needs keep us constantly preoccupied with survival, how fear of death makes us comply with authority, how the pursuit of material wealth consumes our energy and attention. Each aspect of human existence was designed to keep us distracted, afraid, and ultimately submissive. But the demiurge's most brilliant move wasn't physical, it was psychological. He created religious institutions, moral systems, and hierarchical structures that would reinforce his control. The Nag Hammadi texts reveal how he established himself as the jealous God of the Old Testament, demanding worship and obedience, threatening punishment for disobedience. This wasn't divine justice, it was spiritual extortion. The evidence of this control system is everywhere, hidden in plain sight. Look at how religious institutions throughout history have suppressed knowledge, persecuted free thinkers, and maintained power through fear. The burning of the Library of Alexandria, the persecution of the Gnostics, the systematic destruction of ancient wisdom. These weren't random acts of violence. They were calculated moves to maintain the demiurge's control over human consciousness. Perhaps most disturbing is how the demiurge feeds on human suffering. The Gnostic text, The Reality of the Archons, describes how this being and his servants, the archons, literally derive sustenance from human fear, pain, and ignorance. Every war, every conflict, every system of oppression serves not just to control us, but to nourish these dark forces. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. According to the Gnostics, the demiurge made one crucial mistake. When creating humans, he unknowingly captured a spark of true divine light within each soul. This spark, our direct connection to the true divine source, is what the demiurge fears most. It's the key to our potential liberation. This revelation leads us to a profound question. If we're living in a world designed to entrap us, controlled by forces that feed on our suffering, what hope do we have for freedom? The answer lies in understanding that the greatest power of the demiurge isn't his ability to control reality. It's his ability to make us believe in the limitations he's created. Think about it. Every time we accept suffering as natural, every time we submit to arbitrary authority, every time we choose security over freedom, we're strengthening the very chains that bind us. The demiurge's power lies not in his strength, but in our acceptance of his reality as the only possible reality. But there's more to this story, something even more extraordinary that the ancient texts reveal. As we begin to understand the nature of our prison, we also discover the path to our liberation. This brings us to the most crucial question. How do we break free from a system designed to keep us trapped? The answer lies in something the demiurge couldn't control, something that exists within each of us. The power of Gnosis, direct spiritual knowledge that can shatter the illusions of this world. But understanding our jailers is only the first step. The real question is, how do we break free? The answer lies in an ancient practice so powerful that the demiurge has spent millennia trying to suppress it. Part 4. Breaking Free, the Path to Liberation. All right, let's delve into something profound, the path to breaking free from Earth's prison. But to understand this journey of liberation, we need to go back to an ancient story that religious authorities have tried to suppress for centuries. In the dusty caves near Nag Hammadi, Egypt, in 1945, local farmers discovered clay jars containing leather-bound texts that would shake the foundations of religious thought. These Gnostic manuscripts, hidden for over 1,600 years, revealed a shocking truth about spiritual liberation that the early church desperately tried to conceal. According to these texts, there was a woman named Sophia, a seeker of divine wisdom, who discovered something extraordinary. Unlike others who followed religious doctrine blindly, Sophia began questioning the nature of reality itself. The religious authorities of her time branded her a heretic, but she had touched upon something they feared, the power of direct spiritual knowledge, or gnosis. The manuscripts tell us that Sophia experienced moments of profound awakening, glimpses beyond the veil of our material world. She realized that true liberation wasn't about following rules or performing rituals. It was about awakening to a deeper reality that the demiurge, our prison warden, had hidden from us. But here's where the story gets intense. The religious authorities of her time didn't just disagree with Sophia, they were terrified of her message. Why? Because she had discovered that each human being contained a spark of divine light, a direct connection to the true source beyond this prison realm. This revelation threatened their entire power structure. The Gnostic texts describe Sophia's journey of awakening in vivid detail. She experienced what they called remembrance, moments when the amnesia of material existence lifted and she could see the prison bars of our reality. The texts speak of her understanding that our thoughts, fears, and attachments were like chains, binding us to this realm of suffering. Think about that for a moment. Every anxiety that keeps you up at night, every fear that holds you back, every material desire that drives you, these aren't random. According to these ancient teachings, they're carefully designed features of our prison, keeping us distracted and spiritually asleep. But Sophia's story doesn't end there. The texts describe how she began teaching others to awaken, showing them that liberation wasn't about escaping the physical world, but transcending its limitations through inner transformation. She taught that true freedom begins with questioning everything, every belief, every fear, every attachment that keeps us bound to this realm. The manuscripts reveal specific practices for awakening, moments of deep silence to quiet the prison's constant noise, meditation to see through its illusions, and most importantly, the cultivation of inner knowing that transcends mere belief. This wasn't just philosophical theory, it was a practical path to freedom that anyone could follow. The religious authorities tried to destroy these teachings, but they couldn't erase the truth Sophia had discovered, that within each of us lies the power to break free from this prison through direct spiritual awakening. This isn't about waiting for a savior or following religious rules. It's about recognizing our own divine nature and breaking the chains of ignorance that bind us. But here's the most crucial part of Sophia's message. This awakening isn't just an individual journey. The texts speak of a collective awakening, a time when enough souls would recognize their true nature and begin to transform the very fabric of our prison realm. Every person who awakens weakens the prison walls, creating cracks in the. This brings us to our present moment, to why this ancient wisdom is more relevant than ever. The signs of awakening are all around us. More and more people are questioning the nature of reality, seeking deeper truth beyond traditional religious dogma. The prison walls are beginning to crack. As we uncover these ancient truths about liberation, we must ask ourselves, are we ready to follow Sophia's path? Are we prepared to question everything we've been taught and awaken to our true nature? The choice, as it has always been, is ours. But understanding the path to liberation raises an even more crucial question. What happens when we finally break free? What lies beyond the prison walls of our earthly existence? The answer, my friends, is both terrifying and liberating. Conclusion. The choice before us. Let me share with you a story that perfectly captures the choice we all face. A story that was deliberately removed from religious texts centuries ago. In ancient Gnostic manuscripts, there's an account of a woman named Sophia, whose journey mirrors our own spiritual awakening. Sophia, whose name means wisdom in Greek, lived in a time of profound darkness, much like our world today. According to these suppressed texts, Sophia was born into a wealthy family of religious leaders. She had everything society deemed valuable: wealth, status, power. Yet something deep within her soul felt wrong, incomplete. She experienced what we all feel at some point, that gnawing sensation that this world isn't what it appears to be, that something fundamental is missing from our existence. One night, while studying forbidden scrolls in her father's library, Sophia discovered ancient writings about the true nature of our reality. These weren't the sanitized teachings of the temple. These were raw, unfiltered accounts of Earth's true nature as a prison realm. The scrolls spoke of the demiurge, the fallen creator who built our world, as a sophisticated cage for human souls. They revealed how this being fed off human suffering, using religious institutions and societal structures to keep humanity trapped in ignorance. The knowledge shook Sophia to her core. She faced a choice that would define not just her life but her very soul: remain in comfortable ignorance or embrace a truth that would forever change how she saw reality. This is the same choice that stands before each of us today. Like Sophia, we've been shown the truth about our world, the carefully constructed prison that surrounds us, the systems designed to keep us distracted and compliant, the spiritual chains that bind us to this realm. And like Sophia, we must choose. Do we retreat into the comfortable lies we've been told our whole lives? Or do we embrace this uncomfortable truth and begin the journey toward genuine liberation? According to the ancient text, Sophia chose truth. She left behind her wealth, her status, and her family's expectations. She began teaching others about the true nature of our reality, forming secret groups dedicated to achieving gnosis, direct, experiential knowledge of the divine source beyond this material prison. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. The religious authorities, threatened by Sophia's teachings, didn't just try to silence her. They tried to erase her entire existence from history. They burned her writings, destroyed her communities, and removed all mentions of her from official religious texts. Why? Because the truth she taught was too dangerous, too liberating, too threatening to their control. And yet, here we are, thousands of years later, uncovering these same truths. The knowledge Sophia died protecting has survived, hidden in fragments of banned texts, whispered through generations of seekers, preserved despite every attempt to destroy it. This isn't just history, it's a blueprint for our own liberation. Think about it. Why have religious institutions spent centuries suppressing these ideas? Why has the concept of Earth as a prison realm been consistently erased from mainstream spiritual teachings? The answer is simple yet profound. This knowledge has the power to break the chains that bind us to this reality. As we conclude our journey today, I want you to consider something extraordinary. You're not watching this video by accident. Like Sophia reading those forbidden scrolls, you've been drawn to this knowledge because something within you, that divine spark they couldn't extinguish, recognizes truth when it encounters it. The choice Sophia faced is now yours. You can close this video and return to the comfortable illusions of daily life. Or you can take the first step toward genuine awakening, toward breaking free from the prison that surrounds us. The truth is closer than you think, and like Sophia discovered millennia ago, the path to liberation begins with a single choice. Remember, knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom. And now that you know the truth about our reality, what will you choose to do with it? The answer to that question might just determine not only your fate, but the fate of countless souls trapped in this earthly prison alongside you. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If this video has sparked even the smallest flame of recognition within you, then perhaps, like Sophia, you're ready to begin your own path toward liberation. The truth is waiting. The choice is yours.